Hello, everyone. Happy Women's History Month. My name is Kristen Fabella with Orange County Coalition for Diversity in the Law. And today for Women's History Month, we have Diana Chao. Diana, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Diana Chao. Thank you for the introduction, Kristen. I am currently the president of OCCDL. I am a partner with Everett Dorey, a litigation firm. We practice civil litigation on the defense side. I've been a partner there for a few years now. I've been with Everett Dorey for about 5 years. And I've been involved with OCCDL for about 4 years now.
And last year, Diana was also on the board. And so we're really excited to have her lead us this year, and especially for Women's History Month. So let's just get right to it. Diana, you are a female partner at a law firm, and this law firm is fairly new compared to a lot of the other law firms in Orange County, but it's so successful. I want to know how you got started at Everett Dorey and how you became partner and how your role has been, especially, being a mother.
Yeah, so, I started out my career at a boutique insurance coverage litigation firm, and I was there for a number of years. And I just, realized it wasn't right for me. I wasn't happy with the work that I was doing, and I don't think it was the right environment for me. So I decided to start looking around. I'd gotten comfortable and I was like, okay, I need to, get out of my comfort zone and find something that works better. And I happened to see a post for Everett Dorey, and, it just sounded like an amazing position, an amazing place to work. They really focused on diversity and work-life balance and just all the things that really mattered to me. They had, really diverse array of practice areas, and it was a new firm, but it seemed like they were very innovative and focused on being really progressive. So I ended up, applying there and speaking with the partners, Sam Dorey and Cy Everett, and that just sealed the deal for me. I was like, these people are amazing. These are the kind of people that I want to work for. And I've been there since, and it's just been an amazing experience. Just really everything that I thought it would be. I've had, the work-life balance that I was hoping for. I have 2 young daughters, one that's 6 and one that's 2. So they keep me really busy. And, working at Everett Dorey, I have the flexibility to do what I need to do in terms of work, but also take care of my family, which is the most important thing to me. So I've been really grateful to the firm for all these opportunities. And, aside from that, I've just grown so much as an attorney being at this firm. Like I said, at my prior firm, it just wasn't the right fit for me. And I don't think I really had the chance to, develop my skills as a lawyer the way that I, wanted to. And then once I started Everett Dorey, everything just kind of opened up for me. And I was provided with all these opportunities to actually, take all these depositions, interact directly with clients, just try different practice areas and do everything that you need to do to manage a case. So it's been an amazing experience.
And now, if you don't mind me asking, how far into your career were you when you had your first kid?
I think I got my first case relatively quickly, but when I started out, there was a lot of oversight at the firm I was at, so I wasn't really handling it on my own, and I didn't really have the leeway to do what I thought I needed to do. So it was a very different experience, coming to Everett Dorey, and getting my own case meant handling everything, myself, from beginning to end, through trial. So that was the difference.
So that was actually my next question, but my question was, how far into your career were you when you had your first kid?
Oh, sorry.
No,
I thought you said
that's
case.
great.
Let's see. So my daughter is 6 now. So, I've been
Not having to reveal your age, of course.
I've been practicing since 2010. So it was relatively early on in my career. It was challenging having a young child and trying to manage those responsibilities and be able to really move forward in my career because my goal was always to make partner at a firm. I wanted to be in that leadership position. I wasn't going to be happy, just being an associate for the rest of my life. So, trying to do everything I needed to do to get there while also, getting home in time to pick up my kid. And when she's sick, taking a week off when she has a fever, all those things were, challenging. But, I got through it with the support of my colleagues and family and friends.
So in the beginning of your career, and I don't want to just narrow down your career to, when you had kids, but this is a really good learning point for a lot of female associates and especially maybe new mothers. How were you able to juggle that?
Yeah, I mean, nobody can really tell you how much your life changes once you have a kid. Like you hear, it's very difficult. But it's experience is the only thing that will really show you what that's like. So, once I kind of realized how much time this was going to be, how my schedule was changing and how I had to change my priorities, I really, relied on my colleagues to pick up the slack when I needed help, on cases, my bosses to give me time off when I needed it, and my family just stepping in to help when they could. And I really had to learn to manage my time very well because you never know when you're going to get that call from daycare saying, oh, they're sick, you need to drop everything and come get them now, and they might not come back for a few days. So I learned to kind of just stay on top of everything and just make sure that I budgeted my time well.
And what was Diana like before law school? So what made you decide to go to law school actually?
It's funny. I wasn't one of those people that always wanted to be a lawyer. It's not like as a child, I was like, oh, I want to be a lawyer and be in the courtroom. I always enjoyed school. And when I went to college, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to major in. And I ended up majoring in poli-sci and APIA studies. And then, I'm like, what do I do with this degree? Like, do I want to work for the government? Do I want to, I'm like, I guess I'll go to law school. That makes sense. So I ended up going to law school and I actually really loved it. And, I love what I'm doing now. So, I think it's kind of a message to a lot of, people out there where you don't have to have this be your passion throughout your life to become an attorney. Sometimes you just kind of end up here by happenstance and it works out. And that's what happened to me.
And so you majored in API studies, you said?
APIA studies, yeah.
You are Vietnamese and Chinese, right?
Yes, I'm Vietnamese and Chinese. My parents were refugees from Vietnam. They came over in the 70s to start a new life here after the war. So, they had a very challenging life after coming here, and they were able to just establish themselves and create an amazing life for me and my siblings. So, that had a big influence on me as well. I'm one of those immigrant stories where, I really wanted to really take advantage of the opportunities that we have that my parents didn't have. And they worked so hard to provide these opportunities for me that I didn't want to squander that. So education was always, number one for me. And, my mom, this just made it so worthwhile. When I graduated law school, she said, this is one of the best days of my life. She was just so overjoyed. And, I was shocked to hear her say that because I knew she was proud of me, but, just hearing her say that just made it so worthwhile. Um, and, beyond that, I want to be a great role model for my daughters. Having two young girls, I want them to know that they have every opportunity in the world. They can be whoever they want. They can do whatever they want to do. They can wear whatever they want to wear. Um, they get to choose.
I always see your daughters are always like reading books. You're always putting these incredible book displays for them. Uh, I'm just curious to know how, what that does for them in growing up.
Yeah, I mean, they enjoy it so much. They have these bookshelves in their room, and I like to kind of have a theme every month. Like if it's Valentine's Day, we'll have a bunch of books about love up there. Or, when it was Lunar New Year, we had a bunch of books that were celebrating that. And it's just kind of a fun way to get them interested in reading. And, it's a good way for us to spend quality time together.
And the reason that I ask is you are very much a role model to me, and I'm sure to so many other female lawyers, because you are an incredible attorney, your partner at your law firm, but you also display you're very proud of your feminine essence while still being on top of your work, being an attorney, and being an attorney is, we have to be a little bit more, how do I say, sometimes you have to just be a little bit more aggressive. It's just part of the law, at least with litigation. But, I always see you and you're in the best outfits and you're handling all of the things, and, not to put too much pressure on anyone, but you are able to, handle all of these things and just display yourself, and you are what Women's History Month is. And, growing up, child of immigrants, Vietnamese, Chinese, daughter of immigrants who, wanted to do well in school. How did that play a role in, shaping your identity? I know you didn't want to go to law school, or you didn't know that you wanted to go to law school until later, but how did these, expectations, what roles did those play in your life?
Yeah, thank you for saying all that. That was really kind of you. It's interesting because, you hear a lot of stories about particularly Asian parents being super strict and having these really high expectations for their children. I think for me, those expectations were my own. My parents never really pressured me. They always wanted me to do well, and they supported me, and they were happy when I did well in school. But they weren't those tiger parents that were like, "Oh, you got an A minus? No, not good enough." Um, I was the one who always wanted to just really make them proud and make them feel like, they did well. And by, doing well in school and, becoming a lawyer, I felt that, that was kind of satisfying that. And I just, I feel like I think that as a woman, you know, going to what you said about being strong, but also being feminine and, those things, there's a lot of interplay there. And I don't think that, you need to be unprofessional and, difficult in order to do well as a woman in this profession. I think a lot of people have that misconception where, you're going to be perceived a certain way, so you need to overcompensate. I do feel like early on in my career, because I was a young woman, Asian, I was treated a certain way, and people kind of overlooked me and, didn't really give me the respect that I felt like I was due. But, over time, when you're professional, you show up, you do good work, you're confident, and you develop your skills, I think, that naturally goes away. and that was my experience. So I think you can still be feminine and, still dress well if that's what you like to do, or present yourself in a certain way, but, still do well in this profession and still be a leader.
And just a caveat, whoever identifies as a woman, you don't have to be feminine if that's not what you want to do.
Absolutely.
But for Diana, she has exuded that, consistently. And been going back to your point, or when you said that you were a little bit overlooked, can you give us one of those instances?
Yeah, so when I would be communicating with, opposing counsel in the case, they would just kind of be like, "Oh, um, well, can I have the name of your supervisor?" When I would send them an email about something, I prefer to talk to someone else, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm the one that's handling this matter. If you want to talk to someone, that's me." And, um, from then on, they continued to communicate with me and it was fine. But, there were instances like that where, seeing me being a young woman attorney, they, kind of tried to overlook me and thought that, they could take advantage of that. And I didn't allow that to happen.
Do you think the profession has changed in that aspect over time?
I definitely do think it has. Obviously, I think there's always room for improvement, but in my experience, since I started practicing to now, I feel like I've had better experiences. And it may be because I've had, a change of environment as well. I have different clients now. I work with different people. But overall, yes, I do think it has improved.
And how can uh, female attorneys, no matter what age or experience level they are, what do you think they could be doing? What would you tell them in terms of trying to build up their confidence?
Yeah, I would say just to try to, realize that this is a learning experience. You're not going to know everything from the beginning, but, you should still command the respect that you're due. You may be young and inexperienced, but, you're an attorney and you're on your way, and you shouldn't accept, people talking down to you. Um, and just really focus on honing your skills and being professional, and not accepting, someone treating you like that. Um, I think that's really the main thing, just being confident, even when, you know, you don't know everything. I don't know everything at this point. We're all still learning. But, you still need to remain confident and demand that respect.
Did you have any mentors that have helped you um, along the way on your path to partner?
Um, Honestly, it's funny because I would say that I've definitely relied a lot on my husband. He's also an attorney and he's a partner at his firm, and he's a few years older than me. So he's, been practicing for a little bit longer. So, ever since I was in law school, I always kind of sought advice from him, relating to, work and everything else, obviously. But he's definitely been, more of a mentor to me in this profession than anyone else. And, obviously when I started working at Everett Dorey, my two partners also became great mentors for me.
That is a great mentor that I don't think anybody has ever mentioned their husband.
I'm not going to let him watch this video because then he's going to get a big head.
Oh, did you go to the same law school?
We did not. He was already practicing when I met him, and he, was in a different Orange County law school. But yeah, it just worked out that way.
And you were at Chapman Law, right?
Correct.
How was Chapman Law's experience for you?
Really amazing. I came to California from Michigan to go to law school. So it was a big change for me. And, one of the reasons why I chose Chapman was because it's, kind of a smaller community, better teacher-student ratio. And I thought it would be an easier transition than, going to like a much larger school. And I loved it. The professors were all amazing. I still, help out a lot at the school. I'm involved with, a lot of the career panels and other events that they have. So, I think it was definitely the right choice. I love Chapman.
And that's what I was about to bring up. Diana's constantly asked to speak at panels. She has so many law students coming up to her and asking her for advice. And so Diana, are there any parting words that you would have for any aspiring attorney watching this?
Yeah, so I would just say, stick with it. If you can, find a good mentor, someone who can talk you through, a lot of these issues that you'll face, especially if you're a young woman, um, depending on where you end up at, you might face, some of the issues I did where, people kind of overlook you or you're discriminated against because you're a woman or a person of color. And just realize that you have options. Don't do what I did and get too comfortable and stay in a place for too long. Because there are options for you out there. You just need to get out there and put yourself out there and show people what you've got.